passing at all costs for the Roosters. Keary, the wing is unmarked. The ball's going to bounce for two. Bowie scores!
Welcome to Thursday Lines. I'm your host, Scoot, and I'm joined by two bickering old women, Mark the Kid Goodwill out of Melbourne and Nick Tedeschi, old Toprope up at Orange. But these boys just love just winding each other up. They've done it all year, and then their little warm-up, giving each other grief about the bunker, and obviously Latrell Mitchell, who's remarkably made a big recovery so he can serve out 1 week of his suspension at the end of the season to get him right for next year. Nick Tedeschi, I'll let you tackle that one first, because that's been the best story out of rugby league all week. That is an absolute belly tickler, that one.
Well, I had the opportunity to go up to the AFL because I just assumed it was over. But good to see others are watching the great and glorious Canterbury Rugby League. Latrell Mitchell, absolutely all time. Well, all time for the South. Don't get me wrong, rugby league is a game built by Rauters for Rauters. But this is next level for the South. It's like 2 weeks ago, the coach, he's definitely going to play again this year. All of a sudden, he's fit to go. I wish that Navy were in the squad. I wish that Navy in the squad. I wish they rolled him out this week. Not entirely sure he can walk at the moment, but good for him. Great story.
I think New South Wales has state of orders. I think I've said this on the show. Brown paper bags, their police department, everything's been corruption and rorts since day dot, and I don't think it's ever changed, has it? You guys turn over governments. Old, what is it, Gladys?
It's why I thrive up here. Why I thrive up here. Never enjoyed the old boy network of Melbourne. I just like the blatant paper bags and flat out just the flat out assumption that everyone's in on the joke, and you can get a drink out of it.
Outstanding stuff. Big upsets last week. On a more serious note, the Sea Eagles upset the Bulldogs, Parramatta over the Dragons, the Eels, the Dolphins over the Broncos, all over that one. Toprope, beautiful business. The Warriors, they're a frustrating side. My $15 for them for the premiership was a great bet. Probably the worst bet I've had maybe all year, and I've had a couple. And the other one was the Raiders over the Roosters, and the big story there is just carnage with Walker and Smith. Is it side away now for the Roosters? I see the premiership betting, they're out the gate. Was it 375 to 650, and probably bigger now at Top Sport?
Yeah, they're in all sorts. Their top floor is probably going to use them every chance, but they've lost Sam Walker and Brandon Smith, like you mentioned, but Victor Radley also probably out for the year. That puts your miss this week, and both the wingers, Daniel Tupou and Dom Yago, out hurt as well. So that's half their team. That's a big concern going into September. So I wouldn't completely put a line to them, but there's good time for the line. They've kind of dropped that Cronulla level line. I think they are probably a clear fourth best team now after Penrith and Melbourne on top, and I think the Dogs are probably certain then they drop to the next level. So they'll get the benefit of the second chance, but dangerous time for the Roosters. They'll be filthy, and we saw it from Robinson after who absolutely gave their little white hair complete another character assassination, as it was labelled. We were to apologise for the Brandon Smith thing. Robert said, "You've done it too many times. You're a grub." So love that.
Well, looks like the NRL Premiership is another snooze fest with Storm and Panthers. Surprise, surprise. Will you tune in for any of it, MG? Because I tell you what, the AFL would be salivating at their lineup, so it looks absolutely wide open in comparison to the AFL, although the Sydney teams have got a bit of a stranglehold on it. How are you off the fresh week? Great to see the AFL women's back on the front page. Good to see that the skill level hasn't quite improved as much as I like. I saw an Irish lass bang a couple home for Fremantle, I think it was, from 35, 40 metres out. She looks a talent, but tell you what, it drops off pretty quick.
Yeah, it was a long intro there, Scoot. I'm ready to go for the finals. Had a week off. Top Ropes forced me to watch NRL for the whole weekend. I'll tell you what, I feel a lot better about the AFL game watching NRL after the weekend. I do enjoy the NRL, but geez, it got some issues. Even though Top Rope doesn't like to admit them, but Scooty, I'm ready to go for cracking games. I know you're coming down for the Friday night one, so be good to host you. Just a small crowd expected, Scoot, somewhere between 95 to pushing 100,000 expected. So Toprope wouldn't know what a crowd was of that size. But, the women's footy, it is what it is, Scoot. Like they're improving each year. The scoring's up, Scoot. So as spectacles, they averaged 84 points a game, I think it was, over the weekend. So that's not bad for considering how windy it was in a lot of games. So, it was a mixed bag in betting in the women's too, Scoot. Didn't go as well as planned, just nose in front. But we'll see how we dish up this week. But, looking forward to 4 magnificent finals coming up. Not sure which is the pick of them.
You need a medal for being able to sit through the games, I reckon. NFL season starts Friday, which is good news there. And the US Open tennis finals are starting to get to the pointy end too. So looking at the men's there at Top Sport, Sinner's now 191, Fritz 450, and then you got Alcaraz and Djokovic have been beaten. And big surprises there. And in the women's, it's Sabalenka and Swiatek that hold favouritism there. We'll push through because we've had to start the show late because Mr. Tedeschi's missus got a sniffle and it's just upset the apple cart here. But let's have a quick refresh. We've spoken about it a little bit, so I won't go into too much depth with the AFL Premiership prices. And the Swans are $3.60, GWS $5, Port $5.50, $7.50 the Brisbane Lions, $8, Geelong, Western Bulldogs $9, Hawthorn $11, and Carlton $31. We'll keep kicking along to the Brownlow medal prices. Cripper, he's $2.41, which is an interesting, into $2.34 now. So the 275 look to be overs, and as MG has pointed out, there's only real three big chances here. Nick Dacos, $2.50, $7.50 Lockie Neal, and then you got the Bont, $15, and it's a matter of how many votes Treloar will take off him to keep him out of the race. But MG said many times that it'll be either Cripper, Dacos, and then the roughie is Neal. And as he's predicted, all the others are getting well out of the market there. Storm, $2.60 in the Premiership. Panthers, $3. The Roosters are now $7 at Top Sport. And then you got the Sharks and Bulldogs, $12 and $13 chances, and Manly poking their head out as a bit of a smoky, I suppose, at $17. But last week of home and away season will shape the final 8 with Melbourne Storm not being able to be toppled for that the top spot. No results to speak of for MG as he had the week off, and then Toprope. You've pulled your own pants down and let the bookies sort of penetrate you in the last half of the season. Really, you had a massive lead. You were you got to plus 50 units, and you've limped to the line with plus 22.71 units at 5%. What would you put your back end form slump down to? Was it sick beats?
No, this is not sick beat, but it's the same rubbish every year. I have a very good grip on the early part of the season. Should really skew my wagering a lot more towards that. But I like the action script. I like the action. I want to give the punter something to bet on. So need to figure out a few better angles at the back end of the season. Right?
I went hanging out completely there. So you still made a pretty good profit there. So 5% both
hardly done yet. Hardly done.
Well, I know.
We've still got
a long way to go.
5 weeks. We've got some international footy. There you go.
I've got full faith. Port Adelaide Power and Geelong Cats. We're going to talk about the AFL first, and rightly so, with finals on our doorstep. $1.48 Port Power. It's been one-way traffic. Cats $2.65. The line 12.5. 166.5. The total here is now been crunched into 164.5 at Top Sport. Interesting, MG, street corner tip. Everyone wants to be on Port Adelaide and won't hear of anything about the Cats. The mug punter consensus that I'm hearing is Cats are just too slow.
Not sure. The betting hasn't really moved too far. Scoot open 10, it's gone to 11, so it's been pretty solid. I'm not sure there's. I mean, we're on Port Adelaide, so probably a bit edged that way. They are at home, but I think Geelong have got a reasonable chance. They travel well. Their interstate record's 5-2 on the year. Pretty good night record. They've got a full list to choose from, so there's plenty of positives going on for Geelong. Had a very good offense this year, ended up ranking 3rd, and they're going up against the 3rd best defense with Port Adelaide losing 2 crucial elements in Houston, and Farrell's come out. So they're going to have to cover some bases there, Port, on the back end. I'm not dismissing Geelong. I think, all the pressure's on Port Adelaide. Their finals record hasn't been great, and Hinkley will feel that pressure. And probably Geelong's not the side exactly they want to come up against, I would have thought. They did go down Geelong and beat them by 6 points in round 9 this year, so they'll get confidence from that. Port Adelaide got no excuses other than the two players I mentioned missing. They're at full tilt. Yes, they've got a speedy, powerful midfield, which does have an advantage over Geelong. Home ground will be going nuts, the crowd, they'll get up and about, so I think as long as Port Adelaide settle in, they've got a strong home ground record, 9-4 in the year, won their last 4, and they've got a very good night record. They've won 11 of 15 this year, Scoot. So, yeah, no excuses for either team. I think Geelong would be happy to draw Port Adelaide in terms of having interstate travel. So, yeah, I think the market's about right. Hard to find a bet on the line. I'd probably go to the margins kind of thing if you were looking at Port Adelaide, from that 1 to 24, 1 to 39 kind of caper. I couldn't get either side of the line. I think the market's right. Yeah, I think there'll be points in the game, Scoot. I think the weather looks okay, and I think, if the mid 160s, I think they'll cover it to the over. So, yeah, just hoping Port get through and get into a prelim.
Luckily for both sides, the 8 mil of rain won't drop until Friday. So be a clear blue skies, and it should be a fast deck there at Adelaide Oval. So looks a ripping clash, and I'm a bit like you, MG. I can't really find a complete angle or bet with any confidence there, but good luck to those playing, and especially those who followed MG in on the Port Adelaide pre-season action, because you snatched up a pretty big price there. Looking at the rugby league, tonight it's Broncos Storm. I love that Bellyaches just put full press on in that match, so we're not going to cover that one because Storm will obliterate the Brisbane Broncos, who are legless, and there's a bit of a sniff about the coach sacking, but haven't had any big news there. But the game we're going to preview here is Friday night's game. It's Parramatta $1.60, West Tigers $2.32, 3.5 the line at Top Sport, and then 53.5 the total here. West will be absolutely prime for this one. Toprope?
The Spoon Bowl. And we're very excited about this one. This is the 7th Spoon Bowl in Premiership history. Only the second in this century, so very, very exciting. Pretty straight up. Loser goes over the spoon, and they've won plenty of that, and the Tigers won the last 2, trying to avoid the joint hat-trick. This will be the Eels' 4th since 2012, so both teams trying to avoid this. I like the Tigers here. A few reasons. Trent Barrett and 15 and 54 in his last 4 years as coaching. Let me just say, Varley to that statistic, because I'm not going to be able to say that again anytime in the future. So you've served me well, statistic, and I'm going to miss you very, very much. He also has a wooden spoon and has finished. This would be his third. He's locked in for his third bottom 2 finish, which is an amazing result. 6 years of coaching, so well done the track. I can't make Parramatta bigger favourites. I can't make Parramatta favourites, to be honest. I know they'll do a good record against them, but they're probably against the Dragons. But 2-6 against the spread of a win, 4-8 at spread of scoring 24 more. Tigers won their last 2 off a bye, so they have more chance to prepare for this. 6-3 against the spread of scoring 30 or more. Cover their last 2 at Canterbury now, one earlier in the year. So, look, I'm as confident about the Tigers now as the week's warmed up as I probably could be about a team that could get the wooden spoon at the end of about 80 minutes.
I like it. Predictable, but I absolutely love it. And you're getting 3.5. So if it's an absolute snooze fest or a 0-all draw, 3.5 at Top Sport looks the best way to play that one. So
it will not be a 0-all draw. It's more likely to be 44-40 like last week than a 0-all draw.
Total 53.5.
I'll be back at the over.
Beautiful. All right.
Got to be on the over. Eels are just a massive over team when they're favourite, when they're on the road. They're a huge over team. So, and these teams play over games. So, chips and over this one too.
Yeah, outstanding stuff. All right, Varley, Trent Barrett. Knew you were going to go with that one. Let's have a look at Friday night AFL, and this is a blockbuster. Could be match of the round. $1.72, Western Bulldogs, $2.12 the Hawks, 4.5 the line, nibble for the minus, not my money, 163.5 the total here. And big weather watch here. It's got a little bit of menacing rain around at the MCG, which is not to my liking, MG.
Yeah, it's going to be touch and go whether it hits. It's the forecast been jumping around a bit. I think just with the strong winds that we've had this week, Scoot, it's just going to be more a game time decision. I think there is rain forecast, which is not boding well for the total. We're actually back 164 on the over now. You can get touches of 163, so hasn't gone to plan at this stage. Did get to 166, but anyway, match of the round. Can't argue with that either, Scoot. Two of the most informed teams. Bulldogs coming off 2 straight, Hawthorn 3 straight. Hawthorn have won 13 in the last 16, as you know, Scoot. You've been riding this from a long way back, but neither team's got any excuses. Both pretty much full pelt. Unfortunately, Hawthorn did lose Day, and Mackenzie had a bit of a training mishap yesterday, I believe, so he's out as well. But yeah, they got players to cover that. Although Hawthorn's record without Day hasn't been great this year. Both in good form, Scoot. Bulldogs covered 6 of the last 7. Hawthorn have covered 13 of their last 15 games, which is extraordinary. Both highly over teams as well. 4 straight to the Bulldogs. And Hawthorn's last 5 games, they've scored 112 plus on 4 out of the 5 occasions. And they've also won 4 of those 5 games by 63 points or more. So they've been smashing teams. So they'll be full of confidence at the MCG. Be almost a home game for your Hawks as well, Scoot. So got a good record at the MCG. They won 5 straight there. And this is only the 3rd game for the Bulldogs at the MCG. So this is real foreign territory for them. And also the Bulldogs aren't used to playing in front of big crowds. So that could have some impact to them. I'm leaning Hawks here, Scoot, if I was going to have a bet. A couple of points your way. I think, they don't have the finals experience, but, Bulldogs aren't exactly covered with it either. So, I think this will be a high-scoring, entertaining game if the weather doesn't come in. I think Hawthorn will be up to this in their eyeballs, and I think more pressure's on the Bulldogs here to perform. They've had to play just as many finals to get into the 8 as Hawthorn. So, I'd shade Hawthorn and going to dodge the weather and still believe in the over here.
I think, the greasy conditions could help the Hawks as well. Pretty handled the ball beautifully, I think, against Collingwood in the wet, and then North Melbourne in the wet as well. So I think the little mosquito fleet of the forward line will be just zipping around, and I think if you like the Hawks, I can't find a reason not to back them. But not overly confident, but if we start well, I think will be something leaked. Let's have a look at Saturday afternoon's match, and it's the Bulldogs versus the Cowboys. 5v6, $1.74 the Bulldogs. Cowboys, $2.10, 2.5 the line, and 47.5 the total. You did say they were due for a downer, the Bulldogs, and they cough one up. But what happens now on the bounce back?
Well, this is the problem. So I had no real problem with the loss last week. In fact, Blackburn missed this week. Must have been clash. To HRA and Bronster Sherry suspended. So must have been go for the Dogs. So winner will get to play either Newcastle or Dolphins. Loser probably goes to Manly and have to beat Manly at Brookvale. So daunting task. So must win here. I'm going to back the Dogs' defence to get up, although the Cowboys were downright disgraceful last week against a Storm team that were missing so many players. Got home 30 in the end, but pretty lucky. I would imagine top game be completely sorted out. Had some off-field distractions this week. The key assistant, James Maloney, was a whistle, didn't driving. No good. So probably lean towards the Dogs here. The market just has them wrong. They've kind of sifted in the last 21. I like how they go well against top 8 teams, kind of 6 to 8. The key for me is the Dogs can play fast, they can play slow, and they will try and shut this game down. Cowboys can only play one way, so that won't suit them at all. So I'm going to bet the Dogs' defence here to get the job done and give the Bulldogs a nice, easier home final than a loss will give them, which would probably be a road down to Brookvale.
Outstanding stuff. So small chips in on Canterbury Bulldogs. Sydney versus GWS Saturday afternoon is belting clash here. Swans $1.62, the GWS Giants $2.25, line 7.5, 172.5. Poor winner of this one. big chance that they make the grand final here. Both sides just going enormous, and GWS have got this withering burst of a finish. So whoever gets out of the blocks here, MG, should be winning.
Yeah, I agree, Scoot. I'm going to say if Sydney are in front at quarter time, they'll win. The game will be over. I'm keen on Sydney here. I'm not going to play them in terms of the because we're heavily involved in the futures. Just too big a leap to get them through. But yeah, I like Sydney. They haven't moved. Open 7.5. Neither the line or the totals moved here, but. Yeah, I think there's not too much between them. There's no great pots on the GWS at all. They've won 7 of their last 8. They lost against the Bulldogs, which I didn't mind last week. The week before. It just sharpens them up, I think. They didn't want to have a big winning streak coming in, so I don't mind that. Sydney got their season well and truly back on track, got all their players back. They have their 4 big ins, so they're not missing players either team, so can't pot them from a depth point of view. Sydney have won the last 3 head-to-head, although the Giants have won their last 3 finals against Sydney, so that's a tick in their favour. Sydney at home, 9-2 on the year, and Giants interstate record was pretty good there, 9-5, so can't pot them either. I just think Sydney at home, they've had the best offence all year. Giants have only got the 9th best defence, so statistically wise, Giants aren't great. They're 7 offence, 9 defence. So if Sydney get rolling at home, full crowd, I just think they'll, both teams are very accurate, so I don't think they'll have a problem there. But yeah, I just think Sydney's offence, Papali back into it, just gives it a whole different lineup. So yeah, if I'm just looking at this game only, Scoot, I'm pretty keen on the Sydney minus 7.5 at home. I think it's a bit of a free kick, really, as long as they get out of the blocks. The other way to play it is you could play live at TopSport. You can see how they start. Sydney, you might get a better price as they start pretty slowly. But yeah, after quarter time, I think they'll take control of the game and get the job done.
Outstanding stuff. Too hard for me. I'm going to just enjoy that one with no bet on the outcome, which is a bit gutless if you ask Nick Tedeschi, but I don't care. Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock at Four Pines Stadium is the Manly Sea Eagles, $1.80 hosting Cronulla Sharks, 1.5 the line, 50.5 the total. Interesting clash here. 7th Manly play the 4th placed Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah, you can't bet in this game until full kick-off because results could lock Cronulla into position, and if it does, they'll likely rest all their players. So very wary about betting early in this one. Manly, of course, need to win. A win will get them home final against either the Cowboys or the Bulldogs, so they will be trying their best, but no turbo is a big worry there. Don't recommend a play. I'll be looking about the Sharks as an outsider if they go in full strength, but nothing doing at the moment. Would lean towards the under for a total as well. That would be a play I'd be looking at too.
We might get you to tag Little Birdie TV on Twitter and give us your final thoughts an hour before the jump on Sunday, if you could do that kindly. Brisbane Lions versus Carlton is Saturday night, 7:40 at the Gabatoir, $1.28 Brisbane, and Carlton 3.55. The line 23.5, 166.5 the total here. Brizzy Lions to lose. What about the Blues, MG?
Yeah, this is a tough one to assess, Scoot, but I think Brisbane just at home should be too good. I can't entertain the line. It's jumping around a bit because I think they're, Curno's probably not going to play. I think his odds against now to line up, which is obviously going to hurt him. In their last matchup, he kicked 4 and Mackay kicked 3, so they kicked 7 between them. So they did give Brisbane defence some issues, but when you take one out, they can just concentrate and hone in on Mackay. They could have up to maybe 7 or 8 players coming back in, which is not a great sign. They might have some underdones going up to Brisbane. It's going to be nice weather during the day, but at night it'll cool down a bit. I just think Brisbane got too much. The only question mark I've got on Brisbane's pretty much I've had all year is their accuracy levels. They've cost themselves some important victories, which cost them the top 4 this year. And under pressure, sometimes it can go right off. So I think one of the keys for betting in the run, especially with TopSport this week, is Brisbane to see how they kick early. If Joe Danaher or Hipwood, if they get a shot early and kick it and they look on, then they'll get the job done. And yeah, Carlton could pack it in, and Brisbane at home can really put on some points quick. So this line can change really quickly, Scoot. So for Carlton going up there can't bring too much to them. I just think they've got too many injuries, too many players going to be underdone. I think, it's good to see a player like Doherty come back from knee off only just over or just on 6 months, but I think it also reeks of a bit of desperation, looking for some inspiration. I think they know they're under pressure and the season's gone south quickly on the back end. So, yeah, I think Brisbane at home, it's theirs to get done, Scoot, and it'd be a shocking loss, actually, if Brisbane do get turned over by Carlton.
Bookies will be hoping for a Christmas miracle here. If the Brisbane Lions will be in every sports multi known to man, so bookies will be giving out some free hits if Carlton get up, because they'll absolutely put punters into the grave if the Lions get beat there. Let's have a look at Knights versus Dolphins. You've got 9th place Knights facing the 8th place Dolphins. So this is an exciting clash. Sunday at 4 o'clock at McDonald Jones Stadium. $1.70 the Knights at Top Sport. The Dolphins $2.15. The line 2.5 and 49.5 the total.
Finals have come early. 8th v 9th, the most important and anticipated sporting event in the nation on Sunday afternoon. Newcastle against the Dolphins. Big push for the Dolphins here. I love what Wayne did last week. Just love what Wayne did last week. The more I think we can go through the matchups, they're more talent, they're a far better coach, and they're not at home, but I think they're a great bet this week as an underdog. Covered 20 of 13 as a dog, 6 of 9 as a dog, 5.5 or less. Newcastle's very good in day games, particularly at home, but they don't back up a big win all that well. So 4-8, spread up a win at 20 or more. I love the hammer up against Dane Gagai. I think it's a tremendous matchup for the Dolphins. Straightforward fullbacks, fantastic. So more Jeremy Marks King, I think we're good. We're going to see the Dolphins of last week and kind of mid-season, all we kind of saw stumbling over the line. So big kick here for the Dolphins.
And you can get about $1.95 around the traps for hammer any time.
Unbelievable price. Unbelievable price.
They just keep putting it up and we just keep taking it. How easy is it?
Every week. What's the little bit?
Bit of same game multi action there at Top Sport too, so you can get on the Dolphins plus into the hammer time.
Jack Rostock in there as well.
Sit and steer, stand and cheer. That's what they say.
Yep, it's just going to be a thrilling. Well, what's the end of the weekend? Thrilling lead into the late ARLW game on Sunday night.
Outstanding. So I've got the entree of a Storm, Demolition, and hopefully Kevy out of a job. We've got the Battle of the Spoon, West Tigers, Eels, and then for dessert we've got the Knights versus Dolphins, and hopefully Wayne can steer him into the final. So that'll be beautiful business. Brownlow medal, MG's already got 100 units on the table. He'll have more bets to push out over the next 24 hours. So if you haven't snapped it up and want to have a bet in the Brownlow, make sure you do that. The prices are starting to disintegrate, and the good news is bookies have still got markets to put up. So we've sent maybe 3 pages worth of bets, so you'll still get all the bets that he's already had, and there'll be fresh bets over the next 24 hours, and then more to come as the Brownlow medal markets appear on these tardy little bookie sites. So make sure you get around that one, $44, and you'll also get added to MG's AFL finals this as well, so a little bit of a bonus there. All right, that's a wrap from us. Enjoy the AFL this week. Big thanks to you, MG, and well done, 5% for the season. Hopefully we can put the cherry on top in the finals, and you too, Toprope, churning out at 5% also. And a big thanks for all the free content you put out, courtesy of Top Sport and Punting Form. But enjoy the weekend's footy, and hope the missus gets better at Toprope so you can get back into the hot seat with the TV and get the kids out of the way.
Oh, that would be a treat. It's good. So press the Toprope.
We'll see you soon, MG.
Yeah, it's good. Look forward to hosting you for Saturday. Should be good. Or Friday.
Can't wait. Go Hawkers. All right, we'll see you next week.